This is just a 2 megapixel small 5000 rupees camera. Video that it captures, it's extremely stable, but it's not unusable. The connection to the app is absolutely flawless. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Jai Sri Ram. Last year around October sometime, I posted a video in which I demonstrated how to install a dash cam in your car, at your home, on your own, complete DIY. So you do not have to go anywhere to a car modification shop or any accessory shop to get that installed, because it's a very simple, very straightforward process, and I've demonstrated that in the video. And thank you very much for the amazing response that you guys have shown. There were lots of people who asked me different kinds of questions about the dash cam. That included how to reset it, how to connect it, etc, etc. And since I've been using this for roughly 8 months now, and since this time I've installed this, I have completed about 5,000 change kilometers in my car. That's the starter Nexon. And I thought that let me make a quick video in which I can answer all of your questions, whatever you people have asked, as a follow-up video. And at the same time, I can also give an ownership review, because as I said, it's been almost 8 months that I'm using this dash camera, and I've used it in broad daylight, in evening, after dark. So I have noted down all the questions on my another phone, because my memory, it's not very sharp. Right, so let's get going. Let's look at the pros and cons, and while we go through each point, we can actually talk about the question that is related to that, right? So the very first pro that I have is crystal clear resolution during daytime. So as long as it is bright and sunny like this, at least before sunset, the camera works flawlessly. You can read the license plate of every vehicle that is right in front of you. You can zoom out, you can zoom in, and there is absolutely no problem. The only challenge is that when it gets dark, like after sunset, if you are driving, right? In that case, anyways, your expensive phones, which are like 1.5 lakh rupees, even they, with their 200 megapixel cameras, they struggle to capture, details in low light. So do not expect a lot of performance from this small camera, considering it records are like 2.5K and the sensor is like really tiny. But it's not unusable. Basically, if your car's headlight is decent enough, if the intensity is good, you can read the license plate of the vehicle in front of you, which is like, let's say, about 20 to 30 feet. Anything beyond that, that's when the image gets really noisy and it's almost like useless, right? So that was the first point. Next one is image stabilization. So I have taken this car across because it has good ground clearance. So I do not hesitate to take it on really bad roads where almost roads are not existing. The camera's video that it captures, it's extremely stable. It will not go up or down. It's not jitterish. So that is something which is really good about this camera, considering that it is not very expensive. Then third point is start and stop recording. Let me demonstrate it. Start recording. There it is. Right. So every time you turn on the car, the recording, as long as the connection is proper, it has a memory card, there is power supply to the camera, it starts recording without any issues, without any glitches, and there will be an announcement the way you heard it when it says start recording. And when it stops the recording, let's say you manually stop it or you turn off the car, it will make another announcement. Let me listen to this. Recording. There it is. Stop recording and start recording. Many people asked that do you have to manually start the recording? No, you do not have to do anything. As long as it's connected, it will immediately start recording. Now, I have not hardwired this to the car's connection. That is why at idle, when the car is in parking or somewhere, when the car is turned off, that time it will not record because I've not hardwired it. So that was another question lot of people asked, that can we hardwire? Does it actually record when the car is in parking or somewhere unattended if the engine is turned off? Yes, it does, but you need to get the hardwiring done, and I am not sure how to get the hardwiring done. You have to get it done from somewhere outside, but that hardwiring, you will have to buy it separately. I believe that costs about 1,400 or 500 rupees something. So you can always get it, and then the recording will work even when the car is turned off or it is locked. All right, so what is the next point? App, right? So now dash cameras, there are many, right? There is Qubo, and that's backed by Hero MotoCorp, and then you have 70mi, DDPAI. Cameras, they usually work fine. The problem comes when you are connecting the app to the camera to download the footage, right? And there is one more caveat, we'll talk about that. For this camera, that is the Redtiger, the connection to the app is absolutely flawless. This is the app. It opens, you have skip, and here, Redtiger F3, there it is. As soon as you open the app, as long as the Wi-Fi connection is on, you have the Bluetooth turned on, it will immediately connect to the camera once you go into the app and select the camera itself. And then you have all the footages which you can download. So connection, absolutely no problem. Next thing, the question was the memory card. So this supports 128 gigs of memory, and each file that is created, every single recording, because I have set it to 3-minute recording, so each recording is of about 200 to 250 MBs, and it takes, depending upon the phone processor that you have on which the app is installed, you can download it in, let's say, each video can be downloaded in somewhere between 1 to 3 minutes, depends upon that. But each file size of 3-minute file recording is of about 200 to 230 to 50 MBs, and yeah, that's about it, and you can download it from the app. There is a negative about that. We'll talk about that when we are into the con section. Next question is, does it record the audio? Yes, it does record the audio, as long as, I mean, there's not a lot of noise. If you don't have the windows, rolled down, as long as the ambience inside the car is quite enough, it will record whatever the front passengers are saying. If the rear passengers are talking and front is not, then it will record the rear as well. The voice will not be as clear, but for the front passengers, the voice is always very clear, and you can actually, record it. You can actually listen to what you're saying. The next question was that how long does the 128 GB memory card that it supports would last, right? So if you are out on a trip of, let's say, 3 to 4 days, that entire trip will be recorded in the 128 gigs of memory that you have. So in case if you want to use it for vlogging, you can extract the videos, because the resolution, as I said, in daytime is quite nice, and you can use that for your vlogging purpose as well. And in case if you want to know how many files can be recorded in 128 GB of memory card, I say select all. I'm assuming that the memory card is already full because it has an overwrite function, so it will always rewrite over the previously written files. So right now there are about 324 files. Now, each file is of 3 minutes, as I said. That's a lot of 900 plus minutes. That's a lot of recording. Now comes the con. So the first con we already discussed about the low light situation, after sunset when you're riding it in evening or dark places. Yes, it does struggle. It will record the footage, but the footage would be quite useless. There would be so much noise that there would be absolutely no detail at all. So that is one big problem with it, right? Second thing is that if you do not want to connect the camera via the app to download the video, let's say you have an Android phone, right, and which supports memory card, external memory card. If you take out the memory card from here and you hook it up onto your Android phone or any memory card reader, the video will play back in a very jitterish manner. That's not the actual recording. I do not know, that is quite possibly due to the video encoding that these people are using at Redtiger, whatever they use, the format that they're using to encode the video. But straight out of the memory card, inserted into a phone or memory card reader, the video is of no use. So if you want to utilize the video, as I said in some time back, for your vlogging purpose or whatever, for tracking, you have to do it via the app, and that video works fine if you download it from app. So yeah, these are all the pros and the cons, right? And now the questions that you people have asked, primarily, does it start recording automatically? Yes, it does. As I showed it to you, every time you turn on the car, it says start recording. You turn it off, it says stop recording. Second one is how to reset and reconnect. So there is a power button, a hardware power button on the side of the camera. So if you press and hold that button for about 3 to 5 seconds, the camera goes into reset mode and you can reset it. And once you have resetted it, you can launch it on your app, and then you try to connect. Again, the password is going to be the same, and you can always connect to the camera again, even if you have resetted it. So absolutely no problem. But make sure that before you reset the camera, you take out the memory card. Otherwise, whatever footages are there in the memory card, that will be all wiped off once you reset the camera, right? So that is one thing to remember. How is the resolution during day? Absolutely fine. As I said, crystal clear. Resolution at night, garbage, of no use at all, unless you have a vehicle, right, like hardly 20, 25, 30 feet in front of you, and you have very bright lights in your car. You can record the license plate. Otherwise, no, it's of no use. Does it require ND or CPL filters? Not really. See, the thing is that ND filters you would require, or when the sensor size is big enough that there's a lot of light entering, so you want to control it using the CPL filter as well, or the ND filter. But as I said, the sensor is very small in this, and there is not a lot of light that is entering. Then that is the reason why the low light footages are of no use at all. So ND filters, CPL filters, no, they are not required. If you have money, if you want to buy it, it's up to you, but it's not really recommended. It's a waste of money, I would say. How to see the recorded videos? Yeah. So as I said, you connect to the app, and then you have an option. You can download it. Each videos would be of like 200 plus MBs. It takes about between 1 minute to 3 minutes, depending upon your phone's processor, how good that is. So yeah, these are all the pros and cons about this Redtiger. Now, conclusion, do I regret using this? Not really. The reason is that whenever we go out on family trips, there is not a lot of night driving that is happening for us. We usually travel in broad daylight because we have a kid as well, and it's preferable that whenever you have kids, you complete the distance, whatever traveling your journey is during daytime itself, to be on safer side. So I have not traveled a lot in the night. Whatever I have done, I think like street lights and these fancy lights, whatever it is, the way I said, we went to Mysore Dasara, and that was recorded fine. There was no problem with that. But yeah, do I regret? No, absolutely not. Daytime, this recording is really good. It's very clear. The videos are extremely stable. There is no jittering or no shaking thing happening with the videos. So do I recommend this? Yes, if you are looking into a budget of sub 5,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees for a dash cam, you can definitely get it. The main strong point of this camera is that the connection to the app is seamless. So yeah, that is it. That's about my take, my long-term ownership review, and answers to all your questions about the Redtiger dash camera that I'm using. And I hope that this video comes out to be of some help. In case if you have any further questions, please do mention that in the comments. In case if I have missed, I'm sorry for that. I will try to respond to those, right? So yeah, that is it, my dear friends. Thank you very much. Have a really good time. Stay safe because the climate is getting really bad in India right now. It's very hot. So stay home, hydrate yourself, keep yourself hydrated, drink plenty of water and fluids, and just stay safe. I'll see you guys again in another one. God bless you all.